Alarms. With the release of the new rundown, new types of enemies, guns, and tool has added into the game. But today, I'm going to talk about the different alarm types in GTFO, and I will show you everything you need to know about alarms. Before we get into the types of the alarms, there's a hidden mechanic for the spawning system. In this video, I will use score system to explain how the enemy spawn works. For example, small enemies such as striker and shooter equal 1 point. Giant striker and shooter will equal 2 points. This can also be applied to special enemy types such as chargers, shadow strikers, and baby strikers. A charger will be 1 point. A shadow striker or a baby striker are around 0.5 to 0.75 points. Lastly, big chargers, hybrid, mother, and tank are 2 points. So, why is this important, you may ask? This will help you to have a better understanding of the alarm mechanics. And now we can slowly get into the topic. The first alarm type is the normal alarm. When you trigger a normal alarm, you will have one team scan and you will have multiple classes of scan. Depend on the level you're in, the normal alarm can be split into 4 red scan or you will get one big red scan. The alarm will spawn up to maximum 18 points of enemy, which means they can spawn up to 18 small enemies or a mix of a small enemy and big enemies. If you kill off the enemy before finishing the alarm, the hidden timer will start ticking down and lead to another wave spawn. It happens when your killing count equals to 9. For example, the alarm wave has 16 small enemies and 1 big enemy. The hidden timer will start when you kill the 9 small enemies or 8 small enemy with 1 big enemy. After killing the 9th enemy, and you have not completed the alarm, the second wave will spawn approximately in about 28 seconds. The more you kill, the faster they spawn. If you kill the entire wave, the enemy will spawn after 5 seconds. Here are 2 examples of me showing how the timer works. The first clip will show the hidden timer after I killed the 9th enemy. And the second clip will be me killing the entire wave.
Make all the shots count!
But the second wave is slightly different from the first wave. Instead of spawning 18 points of enemy, we will now spawn up to 20 points worth of enemy. Also, the spawn cap is now increased from 18 to 25. That's the reason the wave spawned 5 more enemies after you kill the first of the second waves. To finish the alarm, player must finish all classes of the scan that the security door has given. That's all for the normal alarm. The second alarm type is the cluster alarm. With the cluster alarm, you will have 8 yellow scans instead of 4 red scans. Although the yellow scan progression is slightly faster than the normal small red scan, you will be spending more time to run around and finish the scan. Therefore, the total progression of the cluster alarm might be longer than the normal alarm. The spawning mechanic will be the same as the normal alarm, and again, you will have to finish all classes of scans in order to stop the spawning. The search alarm, aka the kiting alarm, immediately triggers the wave spawn up to 25 point worth of enemies. Once you start, you have to finish 3 team scans while dealing with the wave. And unlike the normal alarm, enemy will spawn immediately whenever you kill 3 enemies. For the fourth alarm, it's gonna be the error alarm. When the alarm is activated, it will spawn a small group of enemies on every hidden second or minute. The types of enemies it will encounter and the timer changes based on the level you're playing. For example, in A2 Overload, it will spawn 2 enemies every 15 seconds. In A3 Overload and B2 Extreme, it will spawn 3 enemies every 52 seconds. And the last error alarm in this rundown is E1, will spawn 1 tank every 4 minutes. That is all for error alarm in this rundown. The spawning mechanic of the error alarms is that the spawn cap is 25 points worth of enemy. When the spawn cap is reached, unlike the other alarm, the timer will still continue, and similar to the search alarm, the enemy will spawn instantly whenever there is a space for them to spawn. At the moment, there is no way to stop the error alarm unless it's part of the mission objective. The uplink alarm only triggers after the animation of the command uplink connect IP is finished. The uplink alarm has a similar spawning mechanic to the error alarm. However, the spawn will only spawn within the uplink terminal zone. The alarm will only stop after the animation of the last code is completed, and it will be around 10 seconds. The sixth alarm type is the S1 alarm. When the S1 alarm is triggered, it will create a purple scan, and it is the hardest scan out of all alarm types. It requires the whole team to be inside the scan, and you will slowly lose progression when one person leaves the scan. At the moment, there are two types of S1 scan. The first one will be the normal S1 scan, which has the normal alarm spawn mechanic. The second one will be S1 surge alarm scan, which has the surge alarm spawn mechanic. It is only appear in E1 at the moment. A scan can go slower or faster depending on the level. The reactor alarm can only trigger when players finish the reactor scan, which can only be done with the main reactor terminal using the command reactor starts up. When triggered, it will start to spawn enemy after the warm-up timer is finished. Depends on the level, it will spawn a group of enemy that can be normal enemy or a mix of enemies. That group will cap the spawn, and the spawn cap is always 25 points worth of enemy.
Wait, send that.
To finish or to stop the reactor alarm, player must find all the code it needs, like the uplink alarm. But the code will be on a terminal that have a lock and it's spread out on all the reactor zones. To get the code, players must find the correct terminal that have the lock
It's flickering.
and use the command locks to output the lock name. After that, player must read the lock using the command read with the name of the lock to get the code. After putting all code in the reactor terminal, the reactor alarm will shut down and stop spawning.
I was getting a snack, alright? Come on. Alright?
Making Alpha sweat some more. God,
That's
I'm
it for the
serious.
video.
I'm actually really
Thank you
paid
guys for
to
watching, and if you
fucking
have anything to ask or
mid
talk
constantly
about,
getting
leave a
shot.
comment. And if you want to watch more of this type of video, please consider like the video and subscribe. Take care.
Opening door.
Um,
Catch
that-
up.